Hello, Master Manifester. Today we're talking about why meditation sometimes feels boring and what you can do about it. So, generally speaking, the Matrix mixed message about meditation is that you have to sit in a particular position and try not to think about anything for as long as you can, which is really irritating for your brain. Your brain does not like inactivity. And basically, it starts running survival simulations like, okay, well, if I'm not doing anything, then how about if I figure out how I'm going to survive if my boss yells at me? How am I going to survive if that bill doesn't get paid? And then you see how all these worries and this sort of stress starts kicking up in your nervous system because you're not doing anything active. So, what it is with the brain is that it's always looking for predictive processing of success or safety, right? It wants safety and it wants success. And if there's no reward on the horizon, it's like, can we look for rewards? I need a reward sometime soon. And then it drops your dopamine levels and you feel boredom, right? So after you're done with these survival simulations, usually the idea of sitting with no thoughts in your head is impossible. You can get to that point, but this is not the place that I recommend it for manifestation specifically. Like, I don't recommend doing that until later. It's more of an advanced skill to feel comfortable not thinking about anything and just literally being one with the universe. This is a skill that you build. It's not where you start. So what I would recommend is starting where you feel the most comfortable and where you can be consistent. So that means gamifying the story, gamifying your meditation, right? So here's a few ideas of how to gamify your meditation, just totally outside of the box. Now, you could do things like moving meditation, walking meditation. Basically, it's just being very, very mindful and in the moment and noticing your thoughts, basically becoming that meta awareness, that observer state, right? But no matter what you're doing, I try to spend as much of the day as I can in a meditative or semi-meditative state. Not to say that I can do that 100% of the time. I don't think anybody really could. We are still plugged in, we're still programs, but we are programs that can observe ourselves and make adjustments so we can have fun, so we can enjoy our reality more and have the experiences that we want, because that's what manifestation is all about, right? I mean, why would you master manifestation if you can't have the experiences of yourself, of the world that you want? That's what this is all about. But it's also enjoying it once you get there. So let's gamify the meditation so that we can build our focus and understand how we can use the meditation to manifest. So let's say you like Minecraft, right? There is a thing called Memory Palace. It's like method of loci. It's basically locus. It's many places, right? And you imagine objects in certain places repeatedly. You do this daily, right? You got to do it at least once a day. And it's something that's simple that you can repeat. I currently have perfume bottles, perfumes that don't exist, in very particular colors, on a shelf that doesn't exist, that I always reference just so I can remember that I want something like that in one of my manifestations. And you can pick out these particular objects. It's like Minecraft, like building your house, right? And maybe you want some sheep in there. Maybe you have ducks. I don't know. Maybe whatever it is that you dream about, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel, good when you look at it every day with your mind's eye. This is a really good way to train your visualization and like your inner mental image of having your manifestation. So there's that one. And another good one. When you want to get like emotion, either clear emotion or just learn to access your emotions better, learn to name them, learn to recognize them. A really good game is sort of similar to Candy Crush. So you have, say, categories of your emotions. Now, this is going to depend on what seems simple and easy for you, but I'm just going to give you some examples of what you could use. Like you could have yellow diamonds for hopes, right? When a hopes thought comes through while you're meditating, you're like, okay, that's a yellow diamond. I hope that this happens. I want this thing, right? I hope that this happens. And I hope that I feel or experience this thing. That's like a yellow diamond, right? And then you fully feel into it and you just watch it poof, right? Because you got to feel it all the way through your body. You got to connect the thoughts with the emotions. Connect the thoughts with the emotions. You see what I'm doing? Do you see how this works? Okay, so let's say you have worries, right? Let's say worries or fears are in red. They're red cubes. Worries and fears are red cubes, right? So when you're meditating and you notice your thoughts and you're letting your observer just access whatever information is coming through those emergent properties out of the quantum soup of your brain, then you notice when worries or fears come up about a particular thing. And you notice, okay, that worry is this red, brick, this red cube, whatever it is that makes sense to you. And once you've fully felt it and acknowledged it, you don't keep the cube, you just watch it pop and you just let it roll through. This is a really great way to use meditation to clear out old emotions in your body that create stressor triggers for like cortisol and stress hormones. And they just keep replaying themselves over and over again, like messages that you didn't listen to on your, on your voicemail. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's the debt collector. Yeah. Trust me, so many of us have dealt with that because this, and I really want you to understand too, when there's things like that that come up, try to recognize it is a matrix illusion. It is designed to keep you engaged. It is designed to make you feel like this is survival right here. If I don't pay this bill, but really, I mean, it's not really going to affect your survival so much most of the time. It's usually you just won't be able to play the matrix games that you're used to play. Yeah, so you lose that identity, but no, it's not actually survival. And it's really important to differentiate between those, especially when you're shifting identities to a new manifestation, to recognize those little nuances. So when you come back to boredom and you think about, meditation, and you can do moving meditation, you can walk around and be meditating. You can swim, you can do housework, you can do work. I would say probably the only thing I wouldn't try to be too meditative about is maybe like driving, operating heavy equipment. You really want intense focus, but not too much of a drifting focus. And sometimes meditation can cause that. So I would generally never recommend meditating while you're doing something very serious. It's life or, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, um, when it comes to gamification, I think the keeping yourself engaged, to stay engaged with something, is to pump that dopamine through your system, to attach to that thing. And that's why I always say, if you're going to do like these mental visualizations and stuff, always be trying to make it something related to the kind of life and the kind of story that you want to see unfold in your world, you know? So don't feel like anything is off limits. I mean, a lot of the stuff also can be symbolism, the symbolism of the thing. Like I said, I have the perfume bottles. To me, the perfume bottles represent something specific, and I know deep within my own brain. I don't want to get too much in detail because I don't want you copying me. I want you to get access to you, but I want you to understand how I'm accessing you with this. So a lot of the stuff I'll see in lucid dreams, or I'll see in imagination during meditation, or I'll be like, oh, this is something from my childhood. Big one. Ones from my childhood are really big. But, you know, understanding that it does not have to be exact when you're getting the feeling that you wanted in the first place. You can have it be exact. There's no reason not to manifest a pink house with blue shutters. I don't what is it that somebody would want? A white horse? I don't know. Whatever it is that you want, that's fine. But understand that you don't have to have the exact thing. You don't have to obsess over that exact thing to get the end feeling that you want. You can have that feeling right now. And you can literally watch the story unfold as though it's like, oh yeah, this is just stuff that happens to me. I'm just a really lucky person, right? And you're a very lucky person. You're watching this video, you've got to be mastering manifestation. You got to be getting good at it, especially if you've gotten this far in. So thank you very much for watching so far. And I hope this has helped you to understand some of the reasons why boredom occurs and how to sort of overcome that with a little bit more active. The boredom is like, curing boredom is like, you have this mental activity, right? And you have a little bit of low energy in the body. And that actually happens a lot. That's sort of like a side effect of the boredom. The mind's like, yeah, I got to do something. And the body's like, I'm tired, and you need to get that cohesion when you're meditating to be able to really effectively do it. But it doesn't even take more than like 5 minutes a day of really focused mindful meditation to get benefits. But of course, the more you compound it, the more you do it, the more benefits you get. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and sign up for the Method Muse newsletter in the description below.